Another step up in competition for Moses Itauma on August the 29th as he takes on experienced Croatian Filip Hrgovic at the O2. Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports. Here myself, Charlie. Reminder before the video starts, please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Yes, it has been announced. We thought it was going to happen. There was a little bit of touch and go, and then all sorts has gone on behind the scenes. But now we have got it confirmed that Moses Itauma, I think he's certainly one of the best prospects I can remember for a while in boxing in terms of the potential, the ceiling, and how high it is, will take on Filip Hrgovic at the O2 Arena on August the 29th. Now, it's interesting because, like I said at the top, it has been touch and go. Dan Raphael reported that apparently Hrgovic at first was not actually too keen on taking the fight because it wasn't so long ago, of course, he beat Dave Allen. And apparently he was saying that he might need more time. Now he seems to have changed his mind for that. That's never a good sign in boxing, I'm not going to lie. I think we've seen that before. I think one example that really sticks out to me is Sergei Kovalev when he, of course, beat Anthony Yarde in Russia, then 8 weeks later faced Canelo. And I think it was pretty clear that he was jaded. But I think it's a tough fight for Itauma, regardless of what the build-up is like. I think it's worth remembering that, obviously, in the case of Hrgovic, yes, he has been on the end of some disappointing results. But I think, to be fair to him, he's still a top 10 heavyweight. And this is the first time Moses Itauma will have faced anyone who is in the top 10. Let's be realistic here. You know, he has fought against Jermaine Franklin last time out, who is a good gatekeeper of the division, but he's nowhere near. I don't even know if he's top 30, to be honest with you. So again, it's a step up, and it's a big step up for Moses Itauma. I think it's worth remembering that. You know, as good as I think he will be, and I think he will no doubt be a world champion, I think he could be a potential superstar. He's not faced anyone yet where you went into it. I mean, there was questions with White, but then White showed his age quite early on. There was question marks with Dillian White. There was question marks with Jermaine Franklin. What happens if he goes further on? But Franklin didn't offer a great deal, to be honest. And I still think that this fight, they've got to be careful in terms of how they manage it. But the problem is because of how impressive he is every time he fights Moses Itauma, it's really hard to just keep him at a level of a Jermaine Franklin before fans start to go, well, what's the point anymore? So you've got to keep stepping him up, but also you've got to try and watch how hard the progress gets, or how hard the fights get, sorry, I should say. I don't think it'll be a walkover, like I say. I think Itauma will win. Hrgovic's chin is really solid. The one thing that always worries you with Hrgovic is the cuts. He's had some horrendous cuts in his career, and that is a worry for him. But we saw against Daniel Dubois that he is tough. He will stay in the fight. We've seen that a few occasions. Zhilei Zhang as well. He has been hit and he will stay in it, like David Adeleye as well. How many times did he catch him clean? And he just stood with him and sort of took it. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Itauma's going to blast him out there. If he does, that's got to put Moses in the top 3 or near the top 3, surely. But like I say, I think a lot of people are thinking that it's this foregone conclusion, and it's not. The thing is, like I say, whenever a fighter's sort of not keen and then has to be convinced, you're always immediately alarm bells going as a fan, and you're thinking, why is that the case? Is that because he's not fit? Is that because he feels like something's off with him? I don't know, but look, it's going to be a fantastic fight, I think, regardless. And I think we'll get a lot of questions answered about Itauma. The question with the big one is, what will happen when he gets hit? If Hrgovic does catch him clean, he has got power. He has knocked people down before. They've all got power at that weight. What happens? I think he'll probably be fine, to be honest. I don't think he'll be an issue. But how he reacts will then maybe tell us more going into the future. I think it's a good fight. The one thing I have, another complaint, it sounds so negative here. Another complaint I have got about it. Why is it on pay-per-view? I feel like they're trying to push this idea of Moses being a pay-per-view star too early. I think Anthony Joshua's first pay-per-view fight would have been Dillian White. And that had the heat, the build-up. Moses isn't a great talker. Hrgovic isn't a great talker either. He's almost sometimes, I think, just a bit like a sketch character, the big Eastern European. I mean, he's a great boxer. But I think to try and push him as a pay-per-view star now is a little bit. It's too soon, I think. I think it should be available to more people and then, get him that fandom and then put him on pay-per-view, because a lot of his fights already, well, 2 of his fights already have been on pay-per-view, and I don't think either of them particularly did well. So I just think just build him up. But listen, Frank Warren knows best, I guess. As always, guys, let us know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. As a try become a one-man sports news bandwagon. As always, have a great day.